Hello guys, today's question is string permutations. The question says that given a string yes, the task is to find all permutations need not to be different of a given string. So the question says that the string is given as string is, let's suppose string is ABC, then we have to return all permutation of string yes. So let us take example and discuss. Let us take string s is equals to ABC. So the permutation of string s is ABC and ACB and BCA, BAC, CAB and CBA. These are the all permutations of string ABC. So we have to return all permutation of string S in this question. So how we gonna solve this question? So we solve this question using a recursion and backtracking. So I already written the code of this question for you guys. So the code says that we mention a answer string to store the all strings of permutation and a index which pointing to initially 0, and we call the function solve. In solve function, if index is greater than string dot length, then we simply answer dot pushback string and return, and we traverse to index to string dot length and swapping the index to I element and calling the recursion approach again to solve function. And this step is backtracking step, and again we swap to ensure that the string is maintained. Let's take example ABC. If we swap B to C, then become ACB, and after putting the value in answer, we again backtrack and swap again, then string become like this. So this is the backtrack step of this question. Let us discuss and generate a recursion tree to clearly understand the topic. So let us example ABC. So we assume a data structure answer. To store all the values. Answer is here and ABC is here. We also initialize index is equals to 0. So index is pointing here. Index is equals to 0 pointing to A. Again we call in answer we call solve function for all the values from index to s dot length and swapping the values and again call. So here we call index is pointing to A, and we call the for loop to index to s dot length. So in first call I is pointing to 0 because I is going to index to I to s dot length. So I initially pointing to the index because index is pointing to I and index is pointing the same. So if swapping the index to I, the string remains same. Okay, now the index is going here, and we again call the solve function. For this string ABC. We again call the solve function, then the string, and in this string solve function, then I is pointing here because in solve function we again call the for loop. So the string remains same because index and I swapping, no changes. And now index is here, and again the call the function, again call the function, again call the function, and I is here. If again the call function, then index is equals to s dot length. So we return base case receive, so we return abc. If we return, then we store the data structure answer and return. And next, in here we call for b, but we not call for c. So here we call for c. Then if we swap b to c, then this becomes c to b, and index is going to here, and I is going to here. And again call the solve function, then again call the for solve function, then index is becoming s dot length. So index is becoming s dot length, so we store the string acb and return function. If we return both side, then we return here. If we returning here of the upper solve function, in the first, index is pointing a and I is pointing a. Now index is pointing here, index ind, and I is pointing to here, and call the function. Index is pointing to here, and I is pointing, index is pointing to here, and I is pointing to here. गड़बड़ हो गया थोड़ा. Start. Now index is pointing to a, but I is pointing to here for next iteration for loop. So after swapping it index to I, the string become like this, bac. Now I is pointing to here, and index is pointing to here for this string, and again call the function. So again calling the function I and index, swapping I to index, remain string same. Okay, and now I is pointing here, if and index is pointing here for next call. If we call the next, then index is equals to solve, then we put the answer into answer vector bac. And now here again index is here a, and I is pointing to c for next iteration of for loop, then become bca. And for this call, I is pointing to here and index is pointing to here. If we call the next function, then it remains same, bca, and next function the index is equals to the s dot length, so we put the bca in the answer array, and we return here, we return also here, so we return also here. Now index and I is here, so swapping the a to c becomes cba. And now here I is pointing to here, Now again calling the index, and I is pointing to here, index is pointing to here, and we call the next. Then if we swapping b to b, then remain string same, and index is going to here. If index is going to here and next call, then index is equals to s dot length, so we put the answer string cba. Okay, and here we return. And now I is going to here, a index is going to b, so we call the swap function, so it becomes cab. Okay, so I is here, index is here, we call the next solve function, then index is equals to solve, then we return, so we return to store cab. So we return here and here, so we return here. After returning a, so here return here. So after calculating this recursion tree, we achieve the result of all permutations. So according this code, we generate the recursion tree. Now run the code and execute. What will be happen? So this is the code, and we have to compile and run. After compiling and run, we got answer correct, but submitting the code. Okay, after submitting the code, the all test cases pass. So I hope you guys clearly understand the topic behind string permutation. We can calculate any number permutation and string permutation. So the concept is swapping and backtracking. Okay, thank you guys.